Welcome to part 6. We're going to talk about ownership, assignment and ownership. Question: who owns renewals at your company? If you said customer success, you may be right. However, if you said sales, maybe. And if you hesitated, well, you have a problem. So here's what I see all the time. The sales, they think that customer success owns it. Customer success, they think that the sales own it. The sales are really hunters. And finance is basically a function that's just tracking results. No one is actually owning the renewal process. And that ambiguity alone costs you millions of dollars. So let me show you what clear ownership might look like or looks like. You need to have one dedicated owner per renewal. One dedicated owner per renewal. They have to be assigned at least 120 days before the renewal date. That person is accountable for the outcome. They're accountable for whether they have renewed or churned. There's no shared ownership, so that way you eliminate all confusion. The best organization structure, the customer success owns it, or you create a dedicated renewals team, a bunch of specialists. But never sales and never finance. Finance doesn't influence customers, and sales should be left doing what they do, hunt. One company created 3 renewal specialists. Their only job was to manage the renewals in that 120 to 90 day window. Nothing else. And the retention jumped from 78 to 91% in 1 year. And why did it work? Because every single renewal had someone focused on it. There were no balls dropped. There was no confusion about who is doing what. So here's the accountability part. At any moment, you should be able to pull up a list of upcoming renewals and see exactly who owns each one. And also, what stage are they in? What actions have been taken? And what is the risk level? If you can't do that right now, you don't have accountability. And here's where this gets more interesting for you, because as a CFO, it's very interesting for you. This is not a customer success problem. This is a board level priority. Understand that. Board level priority. Retention drives valuation more than almost anything else. You need to own in order to make this happen. So what do? You set up monthly renewal reviews with whoever owns this. Look at the pipeline. Which renewals are at risk? What is being done? What help do they need? Make retention a KPI at the exec level. Track it monthly, and follow up on open items. Report it to the board. Tie compensation to it. Create the right level of incentives to align renewal with financial outcomes. I work with a CFO who made renewals a standing board agenda item every second board meeting, not buried in metrics, front and center. The entire leadership team, they started to care about retention. It percolated throughout the cultural DNA of the organization. Within 6 months, they had built all the systems I've just spoken to you about. And within a year, retention improved almost 12 to 13 points. At exit, the company was worth $80 million in additional value. So what are the 2 key takeaways that one can glean from this particular episode? 1, every renewal needs one accountable owner. No shared ownership, no ambiguity about who is responsible for the outcome. 2, make renewals a board level KPI that you track and report monthly. When leadership sees it, then the retention becomes a strategic priority. In the next episode, what we'll do is we'll consider tackling the data problem. Because face the reality, most companies have terrible renewal data. You cannot improve what you cannot measure. I'll show you exactly what data you need, and maybe that will help you to kind of narrow the region of darkness, if you will. See you then. Bye.